Today, we are going to talk about a problem that a lot of folks are too embarrassed to bring up, but it literally drains your energy and ruins the lives of millions. I am talking about nocturia, frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom. Recently, I received an absolutely incredible letter from one of our viewers, a 70-year-old retiree from the US. His story is a true revelation, and it is so relatable and insightful that I decided to read it to you in its entirety. Listen closely. I am 70 years old, a retiree from Florida, and for the most part, I really cannot complain about my health. The only thing that truly bothered and exhausted me was my regular nighttime trips to the bathroom. I was waking up two, sometimes even three times a night. By morning, I felt completely wrecked. The day was just starting, and I already had zero energy. At some point, I decided that is it. Enough putting off the inevitable. It is time to actually do something about this. I watched your YouTube channel and started following the advice. At first, I tried to do literally everything. I wanted to tackle every single tip, every exercise, and fix all my issues at once. But by the very next day, I realized that was not going to work. You can burn out so fast doing that, achieve absolutely nothing, and ultimately just give up. So I decided to take a different route. I became a true detective of my own body. I wanted to understand, what exactly am I doing wrong? What separates me from other guys my age who sleep soundly and do not get up to pee at night? Well, here are the 5 habits I discovered and changed. It only took me 10 days and I stopped getting up to use the bathroom at night. First, I conquered my irrational fear of water. I used to think that since I go to the bathroom so much at night, I literally needed to drink less. Oh man, that was one of my biggest mistakes. Not only did I keep waking up to pee, but my mouth was getting incredibly dry. I was just baffled. How is that even possible? I am waking up to pee, but I am simultaneously dying of thirst. It sounds like complete nonsense. So here's what I did. I completely flipped my strategy. I started waking up and first thing in the morning chugging a glass of water. I did this before I even brushed my teeth, just so I would not forget. Keeping this up to this day, even after I stopped peeing at night, I realized it is a great habit, and not just for the urinary system. I noticed my joints even stopped creaking. I managed my water like this. I drank 75% of my water, 3/4 of it, in the first half of the day. So by 4 in the afternoon, I had had about 6 glasses of water, sometimes 8 if it was a hot day. For the rest of the time, I just kept a small pitcher out and took tiny sips. By the third day, I noticed that even though I was still waking up to pee, my mouth was no longer dry. I had at least gotten rid of one problem. The next habit, I became more active. I stopped sitting in the exact same position when I was watching TV or out fishing. Before, I could sit completely motionless for hours. The only thing I would get up for was to grab a drink of water or maybe do a little stretch if my back got stiff. That was it. I literally sat there like a statue. And then I realized that my swollen ankles in the evening were just a symptom. A symptom of sitting perfectly still for way too long during the day. So what did I start doing? I started doing the ankle pump exercise. I still sit a lot, and I will probably never get rid of that habit. But now, at least once every half hour, I start moving my legs. I lift my heels off the ground and pump my calf muscles. Nothing crazy, no fanaticism, just 10 to 20 reps. I lift them, flex the calves a bit, and lower them. There is no magic to it. I only do this one exercise because, to be honest, I am not a fitness guy. But I noticed my legs were much less swollen by the evening. From what I understand, the main issue was that the fluid pooling in my legs all day was flowing right back into my bladder as soon as I lay down to sleep. That process takes a little time, which is exactly why I usually woke up right around 2 in the morning. The fluid traveled from my legs back to my kidneys, got processed, and turned into urine. So yes, the second rule is, even if I sit a lot, I make sure to stretch my legs. The third habit I changed, and my wife actually helped me with this one. She always said I snored a lot, and sometimes it absolutely drove her nuts. She would even leave and go sleep in the other room. I always joked about it and said it was just age, perfectly normal. But then I saw a video talking about the connection between snoring and a hormone that affects nighttime urine production. meaning when you snore, it somehow affects your kidneys. I started wondering what I could do to stop snoring. It turns out if I sleep on my side instead of my back, I either snore much less, only when I roll over onto my back, or do not snore at all. And I noticed something. As soon as I started getting rid of the snoring, I started waking up to pee less often. Instead of 3 times, I was down to maybe once. That was my third habit, and it changed a lot. Now, if you are finding this story helpful, make sure you subscribe to PRO Health Tips right now and hit that bell icon so you never miss any of our health videos. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which city are you watching this video from. I would love to know where all of you are joining from around the world. The fourth habit is compression socks. For me as an old school guy, walking around in stockings felt like a really feminine thing to do. And honestly, I had a bit of a complex about it. What was my wife going to say when she saw me? I thought it would look unmanly, but then I thought to hell with it. I would much rather wake up feeling refreshed in the morning, be genuinely manly and full of energy to get chores done around the house, than try to look tough but drag myself around feeling wrecked all day. I consulted my doctor and he fitted me with compression socks that help keep my legs from swelling. And by the way, I worried about the design for nothing. Turns out compression socks can look practically identical to regular long dress socks. They have black models and it all looks perfectly fine. Just by completing these 4 steps, I was already waking up only once a night. Reminder, before this, it was 2 or 3 times regularly. Believe me, waking up once is vastly better than 3 times. I would wake up, go to the bathroom, and fall back asleep fast. When I used to wake up 2 or 3 times, sometimes I could not get back to sleep at all. I would just lie there staring at the ceiling, and that is pure torture. The fifth habit, I started eating less salty food in the evening. I will be honest with you, I am not a fan of sweets. I do not care for cakes or pastries. Instead, I love eating things that are smoked, spicy, or salty. Yes, that is my real weakness, and it is something I can never deny myself. But I realized one thing. If I want something salty, smoked, or spicy, I need to eat it in the first half of the day. At lunch at the latest, no later. Because all that salt acts literally like a magnet for water. And then no matter what you do, your body has to get rid of that excess fluid during the night. This was my final and most important change. I still do not deny myself salty chips or fried sausages, but I eat them in the morning or at lunch. In the evening, my dinner is light. You could even say a bit bland. I add some fresh herbs or sometimes lemon just to make it taste better. Oh wait, I completely forgot. One more absolutely crucial detail. I followed the 3-2-1 rule. Stop eating 3 hours before bed. Stop drinking all liquids 2 hours before bed, except a tiny sip for pills. But 1 hour before bed, I do a specific routine. I elevate my legs. At first, I tried propping them up against the wall, but it was so uncomfortable. It felt like I was lifting them way too high. The blood would rush to my head, and I just felt awful. So I solved it like this. I just tossed 2 or 3 pillows under my legs and lie there for about 20 minutes. I will read a newspaper or just watch the news and lounge around. Usually right after I do this, I feel the urge to pee. And that trip ends up being my absolute last bathroom run of the day. So those were the 5 habits plus the bedtime routine. When I did all this that first day, I woke up in the morning and was stunned. I thought, how on earth did I not wake up at all last night? I thought it was just a fluke. But then the second day in a row, I did not wake up. I felt this massive surge of energy and realized that all my efforts were not in vain. It was really worth it. I want to thank you for the valuable information you provided, and I want my story to inspire other viewers. Do not give up, and you will get there. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The truth is, this story is far from unique, and it highlights a very important detail. So many people share this exact same problem, frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom. But there can be dozens of different causes. It is crucial that you find your specific cause and then apply enough effort, be consistent, and do not stray from the path. You absolutely can fix this. I hope you took something useful away from this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to PRO Health Tips right now and hit that bell icon. We bring you practical health tips regularly that can make a real difference in your life. I wish you all a deep, uninterrupted sleep and a truly energized morning. I will see you in the next video on PRO Health Tips.